In this one we're going to ice some heart-shaped cookies. I'm just going to show you how we royal ice them. So we'll outline them, flood them, and what we'll do is we'll make them polka dots, and then I'll also show you how to do hearts. So we're going to start with an outlining colour in royal icing, and you're going to draw around the edge of your cookie. Now if you end up with it a bit untidy, just take a brush with a tiny bit of water on and just neaten up your edges and your corners like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to flood it. So for this one I'm just going to flood it in a white colour. Just dragging your icing out to your edge, careful not to knock your edge. If you want to let your edge in dry before piping into it, you can do, that's fine. Okay, so we're just going to tap it a little bit until our lumps and bumps start to disappear. Just being careful not to actually break your cookie. Okay, so when you've done that, you want to put your dots straight on, otherwise they'll form on the surface, and we want them to form inside, rather in the icing rather than on the surface. So we're just going to gently put a little dot on and put them wherever you want them to go. Try and keep them about the same size if you can. And they should start to sink into your icing. Which is why you have to do it before your icing has dried too much. Otherwise it forms a skin and it'll just sit on the top. Okay. So I'll just give that a bit of a tap. You'll see the centre ones that we've done first are starting to sink into the icing. So we'll just leave that now to settle. And then we'll do another one. So I'll keep the outline white, but we'll pipe this one purple or lilac. You can do whatever colour you want to do it. So again, being careful not to lift the line up when you go around. If you do mess it up a little bit, just a bit of water, only a little bit on a paintbrush, and you can move that around a little bit, like so. So we'll flood this now. And you want to do it reasonably quick so that your icing doesn't start to set. And just make sure you've got plenty of icing in your piping bag as well. Okay. So just bringing it to the edges with your cocktail stick. This one might take a while longer to get rid of the lines because my lilac colour is slightly thicker than my white one. If you can't get rid of the lines, then you know that your icing is just a little bit too thick, which this one might be just a tad too thick. So you just add a tiny, tiny bit of water to your icing when you're mixing it. There we go, so it's gone down a little bit. And then we'll add some dots to that. So same again, but this time we're doing white. Careful not to get any bits of dried icing falling in it like I am doing, because I've got that much on my hands. drying and falling off into my cookies. And again, you don't have to do these on heart-shaped cookies, you can have them on whatever shaped cookie you want. Okay. So again, just give it a little tap and they'll gradually sink in to the other icing. If there's any that you find are standing out a little bit, just take a slightly damp brush and just touch them ever so slightly on the surface at the pointy bit that's sticking out, and just give it a light tap. Okay. So this time I'll show you again, but instead of putting dots on, we'll put hearts on. And just make sure you're using the right one for the liner, like I just nearly used my flooding one. So the one on the outline, your liner, is thicker than the one that you put in the middle. The one in your middle is the flooding consistency, which always wants to be runnier. But you can get away with having your outline in just a little bit thinner than what I have, because mine's so thick that it's not moving very well onto the cookie. So again, just take your paintbrush and move it around to where you want it to go. So I've got that on there. So I'm just going to give that bit of flooding again. And hopefully I'll have enough royal icing in my piping bag to make it to the end of the cookie. Again, taking your cocktail stick, just make sure that your icing comes to the edges of your outline all the way around, and that any gaps and air bubbles are filled in. Okay, so again I'm going to tap that, give it a bit of a shake and tap. Now the closer in from the edge you draw your icing line, the easier it is to tap it without catching it. The ones where I've drawn them slightly closer to the edge, I end up catching them a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do this time is have a cocktail stick ready, and we're going to do the same as what we did before, where we pipe in a dot. And I'll just pipe in a couple of dots to show you. And then what you're going to do is take the end, start above the dot and drag it through, and then just pull out, and it should leave you with a slight heart shape. So through and out like that. So you see you've got a slight heart shape rather than having a circle. So just put these wherever you'd like them to go. Again, tap it a little bit to make sure they're going into the icing. Starting above, drag it through and let go. Now, just make sure your dots are all the same size, otherwise you'll end up with your hearts different sizes like what mine are. And again, just drag it through. The further along you leave your cocktail stick in for, the longer your heart. If you pull it up quicker, you'll end up with a shorter heart. And just have a look, see where else you want to add them. So I think maybe I'll get a little bit of one in up here and here I haven't quite got space for a full heart, so I'm just going to put half a heart on, so I won't need to drag a line through those ones. This one at the top, I'm just going to pull it to a point so it looks like the bottom of a heart. So that's it, that's how you put a little heart in. And again, just spend a bit more time on it to get it a bit neater than what I have done. Okay, thanks for watching.